So I want to tell you about what to me looks like some really hopeful developments that indicate to me that we, the Pachamama Alliance, you, our supporters, the indigenous people, are not going to be fighting against oil development for the next 20 years. So the world is actually finally starting to wake up and take seriously the issue of climate change. The US is even making some moves. And science has verified that we already have discovered and have reserves, proven reserves of fossil fuels that far exceed what the world can afford to burn without putting our climate totally into catastrophic tailspin. So it's estimated, projected, that at least half of the oil that's already been discovered will end up being left in the ground. And the investing community is already becoming aware of this and is starting to make adjustments in its investment portfolio to reflect that. A recent UN report basically pronounced the end of the fossil fuel era, that we would and could move to a totally renewable economy this century. International efforts are underway to create financial incentives to protect tropical rainforests, especially tropical rainforests when they're sequestering carbon in the form of oil underneath them. And the price of oil is dropping as producers try to sell their reserves before either regulation or market forces leave those reserves stranded in the ground. So what's actually happening is we are moving towards a point where exploration for oil in a tropical rainforest will not make economic sense. It will be economically unviable, and then it will stop. The question is, the real question is, how long is that going to take? How long can we hold on? And I don't know if is it maybe 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, but the work that we've got to do is continue to hold the line because the world is moving in that direction. And when you look at a country, I take great heart in thinking what could happen in Ecuador, that probably if there's going to be a new development model that's going to come into being, it's going to be in a country like Ecuador. Ecuador has already introduced rights of nature into the world. Ecuador, 7 or 8 years ago, announced a program to leave oil in the ground and protect tropical rainforests. The indigenous people have such a strong influence in the vision of development there that Ecuador is a place where this shift could first happen. So the work for us to do is to continue to support the indigenous people, to concentrate in Block 79 and 83, to concentrate in the whole area, and that's what Pachamama Alliance's commitment is, and we're doing that with our allies, and I invite all of you to support us and join us in doing that. Thank you. So I want to shift and talk now about our work in the modern world. You know, our work in the Amazon, we're focusing on protecting the source of the most verdant rainforest on the planet. So our work in the modern world, we're taking on changing the dream of the modern world. Nothing small for us, like protecting the most important part of the rainforest, changing the dream of the modern world. But that's what that was the mandate of the, it's not something we made up, it's something that was a mandate of the Achuar, and out of our partnership with them, we saw that really the work to do to be able to manage our future, to be able to create the future we wanted, was to change the dream of the modern world. So 9 years ago, the Pachamama Alliance we developed a course we called the Symposium. It's a half-day-long workshop to wake people up and inspire them with a new dream, a dream of a just and sustainable world. And from delivering the Symposium over the years, we discovered 2 important insights to expand the effectiveness of our work, I'll say. One was that we needed to provide a way for people, once awakened by the Symposium, to stay awake. We needed to provide an ongoing support network. And the second insight was that given the urgency of humanity's current situation, changing the dream or raising consciousness by itself wasn't sufficient. That what we needed to do was to get involved with changing the game. And by changing the game, we mean dismantling and replacing the systems and structures that hold the old dream of separation and domination in place, that stand in the way of creating the world the overwhelming majority of the human population yearns for. So no small task. But to address these two concerns, we last year launched the Up to Us engagement pathway. And the pathway's main elements are the symposium as one training. We've created a new online workshop called the Game Changer Intensive. And then the third element is the network of global Pachamama Alliance's communities around the world. And we see this pathway, the Up to Us pathway, not as being the kind of pathway where you get on the pathway and you do the elements and you complete it and then you get off. No, we see this as a pathway that you get on and you don't get off. It's a pathway of deepening connection, deepening learning. It's kind of like we see it as the pathway is an ecosystem of lifelong participation for people to learn, to connect, and to engage in ways that they can make a difference in the world.